Good afternoon, people of God. I trust that you are all blessed as you prepare yourselves for what is going to be a fantastic and interesting 21 days from midnight tomorrow. Uh, I am expectant of you to not be anxious about the situation, but to be paying careful attention to all of the warnings and prescriptions that our government and those that are responsible for our well being are prescribing over our lives at this time. Well, today is our hour of power, and as is usual, we're going to be looking at the last moments of Christ's life before he goes to the cross, and he's in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he's there with his disciples. And I want to read to you from Matthew 26, and reading from verse number 38. He said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." He went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and said to Peter, "What? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, a second time he went away and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, your will be done." And he came and found them sleeping again, for their eyes were heavy. I find it of particular interest that Christ, in these last moments, he's not hiding how he feels about tomorrow. He's very anxious about it. He's vexed unto death, is how a lot of the versions describe how he felt. This one that I'm reading from says he was exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. And so he feels like he's going to die the day before. Emotionally, he's caught up in an anxious state, in a state where he is concerned about tomorrow. But you know what I find very encouraging about Christ? And I want to use that to encourage us today. That even though he was particularly concerned and emotional about his tomorrow, he still found time to go and talk to his disciples. He says to them the first time, "Pray with me," and he goes away. He prays. And you know what I like? He doesn't get so caught up in the spiritual side of life that he forgets about the humanity side of life. Because he comes back to his disciples, whilst he is the one that is emotional, whilst he is the one that is caught up in an emotional struggle, he comes back to his disciples to see how they are doing. And not only to see how they are doing, but to encourage them to keep praying, watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. And he goes away. And he still comes back again to check up on them again. You know what I find? I find a picture of how you and I should live our lives over the next 21 days. I want to encourage you that during this time, as much as you might be concerned about your own well-being, you might be concerned about what your tomorrow holds for you, I want you to also be able to put your concerns to the side and be able to check up on somebody else. There are many people that will be with their families at this time for 21 days. But do you know that there are many people that will be on their own during this time? There are many that have no family. There are many that have no spouses. And so they will actually be isolated for 21 days on their own. I want to encourage you to call them, WhatsApp them, send them a message, check up on how they're doing. Make sure that even though you are caught up in your own spiritual challenges and your own spiritual issues at this time, but make sure that you're able to check up on somebody else. I don't want us to become so heavenly minded that we are of no earthly good. I challenge you over the next 21 days, call somebody every day, WhatsApp somebody every day, somebody that you know will be on their own, and will be in need of encouragement. God bless you this evening.